Thanks for starting out your week and your morning with us. We're going to get things started by helping you get a little bit of sanity in your home life. Well, what do busy women strive for? That's the question we're starting out this morning with. Balance. Balance is what we strive for. We work toward it, we pray for it, we long for it, but inevitably, we fail to achieve it because perfect balance is frankly unachievable. So today, we're going to learn instead how to strive for relative balance with the help of Lainika Johnson-Colbert, who really has gotten this down to a science. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
To see you again.
You too. I really wanted to talk about this because I have a lot of girlfriends. I'm in a lot of women's groups, and we always talk about needing more balance in our lives, right? We're stressed about it. We're like, we're spending so much time in one place and not in other places, the places that we think are important, right?
Right.
So I kind of worked on a little process to try to figure out where our priorities are and if we can actually balance out our lives. And I found out that perfect balance isn't achievable. You see all of these categories in our life, in these little buckets, it's all even. Does that ever really happen?
It really doesn't. And if it does, I think it happens for maybe like a day.
A day.
You know, because really something's going to come up.
And what happens is you have an emergency at work, so you end up going, okay, well, I can't volunteer this week. All that time goes there.
Right.
And then you have a crisis at home, so your friends, those relationships that you're trying to cultivate, those all go down the tubes because now you need to focus on that. So now you have more time in work and family, and then you're like, okay, well, I really want to do this project. Someone asked you to do it, and you really can't say no, so you take your me time and you dump it. And now you have no balance. Now your time is split all over the place. We have 168 hours a week. That's all we get.
That's
no
all.
more, no less. So what we really should be doing is first figuring out what are your priorities.
Right.
A lot of us say that family is our #1 priority, but we're spending more time at work. So set up your priorities. So for me, family, and then my me time is very important.
I like that you put that there. And you know what I think is also at play here is once you get this in balance, then you start to feel guilty.
Yes.
So then you might go and take your family time and put it to your me time.
Exactly.
Or your friend time because you've been neglecting your friends. There you get this feeling of entitlement and say, well, I haven't had any time for myself, so then you put it on the me bucket.
And then you're spending too much time doing that, and then your husband's complaining and your kids are getting in trouble at school, right? So what we should be doing is dumping everything into our first priority to start with.
Okay.
Okay?
So, you've established your personal basically hierarchy of
Exactly. And it may be different for you depending on your season in life. If you don't have small children at home, work might be your priority. So what I like to do is say, okay.
I like this one up at the top.
Okay,
Let's put
that's
that
what I was going to tell you, is that we start out with our first priority, which is family, but what we cannot ever neglect is sleep.
Okay.
There is a new study out that talks about people who say that they can live on 6 hours of sleep are lying through their teeth.
Oh.
That is not possible
The bodies
for you
are
to
breaking
function.
down.
Yes, absolutely. So never touch the sleep bucket, okay? Put your sleep bucket, never touch it. Then you can start putting time in other places.
And you also say, we've talked about this before because you've really come up with a system so that you can actually make your life run pretty smoothly. And you say, it doesn't matter whether you're 2 or you're 120, everybody needs a bedtime.
Everybody needs a bedtime. You need to go to bed and you need your 8 hours every night.
Okay.
Every single night. Because otherwise, you're going to crash.
Right.
All right? So now what we have is most of our time in our #1 priority. So if something does come up at work, guess what you can do now? You can go down to the end of your priority list and you can dump that. And you're not taking from your #1 priority.
Okay.
And then when that project at work is done, you take a little bit back out and you put it back down there where you took it away.
Okay, so we'll put the things that are most important at the top, basically pad them for time and energy, and then take from the things that are at the end. I love it.
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense. It really does. And it takes some time to sit down.
Yep.
And like you say, prioritize.
You're going to have to sit down one day and wipe everything clean. You can't volunteer that week, you can't hang out with friends, work on your #1 priority, and then start divvying up your time in the other places. And the next week you can go back to your relative balance.
And throw
life.
perfection out the window.
Absolutely.
Perfect balance isn't there.
Nope.
Relative balance is what we strive for. Thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Would you like to learn a little bit more about how to incorporate relative balance in your life? Well, check out the Living tab on abc15.com. You'll find it under the Family Life category.